Hello, I'm going to present my programming update for you this time via the video. And I'm going to cover the different programming that I accomplished in our Cottonwood district since our last board meeting on November 19th. Of course, November and December until December 7th was our open enrollment for our folks who are Medicare eligible. And so that meant we had a lot of calls at our extension office related to helping people enroll into the Part D, the prescription drug plan. And then we also know that people are turning 65 at a pretty high rate. And so there are many times that we are receiving calls at our office to visit with people about the different aspects of getting them enrolled in the Medicare different options. So I believe between my husband John and I, who are both trained SHIC counselors, that we saw well over 100 people during open enrollment and helped many people during that time. And most of them were from Barton and Ellis County as well as Rush County. They were without an agent at that time, so I did spend a couple of days working in that area as well. Soon after our last board meeting, I made a trip to Hays to present a family night presentation related to My Plate. This was a really fun opportunity to visit with families who have young children. Bernie had sort of made some plans for that and then wasn't able to be there because of scheduled vacation time. And so I did present that information and just had was well received. Another call came back in October asking if I would present the information Everyday Mindfulness to the Senior Companion volunteers. And of course, I love doing that, so I jumped at that opportunity, and I was able to present it 3 times for the group at Fort Hays. They actually met at the Sternberg Museum. I also presented it at our Great Bend Senior Companion program and also in Russell. And all 3 groups were very receptive to this information. Senior Companions are volunteers in our community who work with folks who may have some disabilities, whether they are just aging, have some chronic illness and chronic disease. And so really, presenting the information from Everyday Mindfulness gave them some tools, some things that they could try as they work to calm people down and to just make their lives a little richer. So I worked with Jessica Shank from Fort Hays in getting these scheduled, and it seemed like very well appreciated and very well received. I also, during the month of December, visited the 7th graders. They have a class called Skills for Adolescents. And so every 9 weeks, I will go and visit with them about nutrition, promoting My Plate, promoting getting up and eating breakfast before they come to school. It's just a great age to visit with our 7th graders. And I usually go for 1 day. And then Michelle has been covering the 2nd day and covering other topics, and we've been again asked to do that again. We have dates set for February to visit the next 9 weeks. Also during December, I helped host our family and consumer science agents from the Northwest area. We always gather in December, and so I was able to have people come into my home the evening before if they were coming to town because they were driving a distance, and then we hosted everyone at the hotel in Ellenwood, and it was a fun day. I also lined up some education for that day as well, so that was just a really neat opportunity. Another thing that I spent quite a lot of time on during the month of December was writing a paper. And about a few months ago, back in June, I submitted a proposal to write a new fact sheet for 2020 titled Taking a New Look at Fermentation. And I had heard a speaker at the Healthy Foods Conference in Salina back in April who was a gastroenterologist. He was very interesting, and he talked a lot about the health benefits of eating fermented food, and then he got everybody excited about how easy it is to do fermenting. So I thought, as I visited with people, I know that we've had a fact sheet, but it doesn't have a lot of of information about specific recipes and techniques. And so I thought maybe if I submitted that idea and it was approved, then that would give me a sort of a focus and a goal for what I would accomplish. And so when you write a fact sheet, it's kind of like writing a term paper. You do the first the research, and then you have about a 2,000, mine's actually about 2,500 words. And I have it ready to submit to my reviewers. I have a fax agent in the eastern part of the state. I have a couple of specialists taking a look at my paper. And then it will go to the editors by February 1st. And so I think I'll meet my deadline, and I'm excited about that. I've even started experimenting. I bought a fermentation kit, and I've got some sauerkraut and some kimchi fermenting in my basement as we speak. So I'll let you know a little more how that all turns out. And that fact sheet should be released by July of 2020. Of course, I do the usual writing of my weekly columns and making radio recordings. I also helped with a sewing class that Michelle had set up over Christmas vacation. Those are always wonderful opportunities to help with programming as well. It is National Awareness for Radon this month, and so I wrote a column about it, and we're getting a big influx of people coming in to get their radon test kits so that they can find out the reading for their homes. So I'll report more on that, as well as our Stay Strong, Stay Healthy classes that are getting ready to start next week in my report next month. So thank you for listening, and I will visit with you at our board meeting on the 21st. Thanks.